Welcome back to I'm right here on WG Sports Network. And joining me now is a very special guest, a two-time former coworker of mine, but you may know him from MLB Network and NHL Network, and that is Steven Nelson. Steven, welcome to the show.
Durst, this is awesome that this is happening. I mean, thinking back to our days, Sunday Fantasy Live, Waiver Wire Weekly, Entertainment, Bleacher Report, Facebook Live, and then working together again at DAZN and MLB Network, and then now doing this interview. We just can't get rid of each other, and honestly, I don't want to quit you. So thanks for having me on.
I appreciate that, and we'll definitely get to Bleacher Report and DAZN stories because there are a lot of them. But let's start with this.
Yeah.
West Coast guy, yet you're a huge Chicago sports fan. How did that happen?
Yes. It's all thanks to Pops. My father's from a suburb of Chicagoland, and I followed him. Whatever he was into, whatever he rooted for, I was into, and that was the team I rooted for. So for him, it was Chicago across the board except for the NBA. So he was White Sox instead of Cubs, even though the rest of my family all bleeds Cubby blue. He said he wasn't a big teddy bear fan as a kid. And he just loved going to the South Side. So he liked the White Sox, loved the Chicago Blackhawks. He was a big hockey player, Tony Esposito fan. The Bears, obviously, but not the Bulls. I won't name the players who ruined the Bulls for him as a kid, but long story short, asked for an autograph. They told him, I'm not sure the language barriers on your show. I'll just say they told him to get lost. And so that crushed him as a kid. So he rooted for the visiting team. That team was the Lakers. And when he moved out to Southern California in the 80s, obviously an awesome time to be a Laker fan. We had tickets to the Great Western Forum. That's how my fandom came to be what it is.
So obviously, out on West Coast, you did support your local teams, though, right? I mean, you did support your Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks. And what was that like growing up when in that area when they kind of were just launching their infancy?
So support is an interesting word. No, I think
former
employee,
though, right? Of the Ducks and the Angels.
Yes, exactly. Here's the thing: listeners have to know that in terms of preparation, few, maybe hardly anybody, will be as prepared as Nick Durst. Yes, former employee of both the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Orange County and the Anaheim Ducks, part of the game day production staff. So basically how I'd sum that up for anybody who doesn't know, whatever you see on the Jumbotron or the video board, whether it's, for me, it was a lot of camera operation. That's what I was doing when I was in college. But growing up, as a kid, those were the teams that my buddies rooted for. So it was just more a matter of chirping each other and giving a hard time, as you can imagine. Being a White Sox fan during the '05 ALCS. I was in high school at the time and surrounded by Halo fans. My best friends were Angel fans, and the Game 2 call, Doug Eddings, God bless you. Hope you and your family are well. So those were fun times growing up, kind of behind enemy lines. The Blackhawks were terrible for a lot of my cognitive
your 20s.
Fandom.
I mean, absolute dynasty for the Blackhawks. Something like we'll never see that again.
Never. We'll never see a run like that, especially in the Cap era. But so yeah, I made up for it because I my earliest memory was the '92 Cup final where they got swept by the Penguins. So that was the first team that I hated, was the Pittsburgh Penguins, like Mario Lemieux, Yager, Tom Barrasso, like Rick Tocchet. Like I hated all those guys. And then they were bad for a long time. And then they traded Roenick, traded Chelios, Belfour left, traded Hasek before that. Yeah, so it just didn't have a lot of positive memories until later in life when Taves and Kane came along. But no, getting back to your original question, yeah, working for the Angels and Ducks. Like after that, you get to a certain point in your life where sports fandom ideally takes a turn for the more mature. and you just have a little bit more perspective. Granted, sports fans are probably the least well off in terms of perspective, but
absolutely,
you grow up and it's like, yeah, then, you root for good stories, you root for good games, good content, especially when you're in the content game. But I still maintain my fandom of my teams. I don't have any hate for anybody anymore.
What was it like in because in 2002, one of my most cherished moments of my childhood is watching the Yankee dynasty come to the end when the Rally Monkey and the Angels took out the Yankees on the way to the World Series.
Mm.
What was it like in 2002 in your area? Did people actually really care? Was everybody going nuts? What was it like seeing the Angels really come out of nowhere and go for a World Series?
Oh man, it was pretty cool from a community standpoint. The buzz and the Rally Monkey, that stayed around for a long, long time. Like even when I was in college working for them, that was still a huge part of the game day production. So that was like I guess for lack of a better term, a cultural phenomenon there in Orange County. And, I think it's like that for any community that experiences a championship, no matter the market. And the Angels kind of take advantage of their proximity to Los Angeles County. Of course, they're definitely in Orange County. Right. But whether it's LA or New York in your case, or Boston or Chicago or Dallas, all these big markets, or you go down to, the lower level markets and minor league teams and things like that. Like when a team's going, when a team's buzzing like that, everybody feels it. So yeah, and that was before 2005, obviously. So I couldn't say anything as a White Sox fan. I just had to listen to all my buddies, kind of pump their chests out about the Halos.
Ozzie Guillen got the job done for you in 2005, though. So
Ozzie Ball was the best, man. Ozzie Ball was the best. Like they started the year, opening day, 1-0 victory. Mark Burley, Shingo Takatsu. And then first game after the All-Star break, they win 1-0. And then the last game of the World Series, capping off that sweep of the Astros, win 1-0. And that run, I maintain what the White Sox rotation did in the ALCS against the Angels, 4 straight complete games with Burley and John Garland, Freddie Garcia, and Jose Contreras. We will never, ever see that again.
I mean, my 2015 Mets came close, but they couldn't finish the jump, unfortunately. But won't get too much into my Mets for now. But let's get into your background here. So you're going to Marina High School, probably out there playing golf every day after school. What really sparked your interest in high school that you were like, maybe I could pursue a career in sports here?
I can't believe you know my high school golf background. So I was a sports junkie growing up. I played everything except for soccer. Somebody kicked the ball into my face when I was like 4 or 5. That ruined that sport for me. Never got into it, even with the FIFA boon and everybody's interested in international soccer now. I'm just not, thanks to that one soccer ball. But I played everything. So baseball, basketball, hockey, and then eventually golf. And throughout your life, I think like most sports fans, you hold on to the dream of being a professional athlete. Now, what the sport is, you either you don't know, maybe don't care. You just want to make it. For me, like when golf kind of came to the forefront of what I was best at in high school, that was my goal. I wanted to play, Division I college golf. And, I grew up playing tournaments against, played a couple tournaments in the same field. I won't say against Ricky Fowler because that guy was on another level from me, or maybe another 5 levels from me. And eventually it kind of just hits home that this ain't going to happen. Like I am not going to be traveling on tour like the .com tour, let alone the PGA tour. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm just not good enough. And I'm not going to be playing in the show or skating in the NHL. So what can I do that kind of allows me to maintain my passion for sports. And so for me, it was sports broadcasting. I had a class in junior high, shouts to Mr. Fotonakis, a video production class in 8th grade. And that kind of opened my eyes to the world of production and kind of marrying what I learned there with my passion for sports. That became the driving force. And that led me to Chapman University, D3 school, like right down the street from Angel Stadium and the Pond or
defending
Center.
D3 baseball champs now, at least for another year.
Damn right. Hell yeah, Durst. Yeah, Panthers taking it home last. Hey, they're going to have a first-round pick, by the way, whenever the draft comes about. The Nick Garcia, right-handed pitcher. Just remember the name. But yeah, so I went to Chapman, one of the better film schools in the country, especially in Southern California. And when I was in high school, I'm rambling. You can cut me off whenever, Durst. When I was in high school, I sat in on a class. Bill McAtee of CBS Sports was an adjunct professor there at the time. And I sat in on his sports production class, and that was like a hook, line, and sinker. I was like, this is the school I want to go to. Like, I don't need to apply to a bunch of others. Like, I'm locking in on Chapman. And went there, and it was just the experience was everything I thought it would be, and then some. I was able to do major courses right away. Didn't have to wait like a lot of big schools do GEs for a couple of years. Just had a camera in my hands day one, basically, and did everything I could possibly do there.
A bunch of great internships. You had a production assistant, AIM Sports, doing high school football games, which helped later on, I'm sure, Bleacher Report, social media intern, trend communications, and obviously, social media is a huge part of the game now and getting your brand out there. Sports production intern, KTLA, and then spotter at Fox Sports West, doing college football, which you love, and of course, other stuff. Sports director, anchor, reporter for Chapman News 6. So, how are you able to? Of course, a resident advisor. So, imagine being an LA now when everyone's out of school. So, obviously,
oh my God,
Joe, very prepared here, and you're at Chapman Radio. So. From there, you're also then you go and you're doing stuff with the Ducks and the Angels. But how were you able to really leverage all those opportunities, put together what you needed to do in order to, I guess, make the reel? And how did you get the opportunity to move out to Illinois, go to Rockford, and become the studio host for the Rockford Ice Hogs?
Durst, you've outdone yourself, brother. I didn't. Did I mail you a copy of my college resume of a decade ago? I'm not sure. I should. You know what? I listened to. No. I listened to your interview with the legendary Adnan Burke on this show, and I should have been prepared for your preparation. I still was not.
Can you believe Adnan was almost a weatherman? Imagine how different things would have been if he became a weatherman in Canada.
That was such an incredible visual. I can't even describe to you. Now I'm so lucky to call him a friend and colleague, but now I kind of wish more than anything that he was our local meteorologist. My first roommate in Eugene was the chief meteorologist, Justin Stapleton. He's now at KPRC down in Houston, Texas. So I have a deep admiration and respect for anybody who is in meteorology and does weather. But to get back to your question, you have to gas up your resume in college as much as humanly possible. And internships, I think, I'm like half joking, more valuable than the diploma you get when you graduate, I think, just based on the experience and the relationships that you develop there. So for me, despite everything that I thought I had done in college to prepare me for the real world, I thought hey, I've done all that there is to do at Chapman University. I've peaked. There's nothing for me. I've finished my school a semester early. I'm like, I have a semester head start on the whole graduating class, on getting a job. And it just didn't happen for me. You hear no's, we need